Mr. President, can you tell us, sir, Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign? We'd love to hear your thoughts, sir.
Should he be on the ballot, sir?
This is my video update on this Saturday afternoon, June the 1st. Let's talk about some news, and let's start things off with Biden's press conference at the White House, where he talked about a three-phase plan for peace in Gaza. And Biden said that the three-phase plan consists of a 6-week ceasefire where Israel will start to pull back its military from various positions in Gaza. Phase 2 will be an exchange of hostages. And phase 3 will be a rebuilding phase where the United States and various countries in the Middle East will put money into the region, into Gaza, to rebuild. That was Biden's big announcement yesterday. He said that this plan, which is an Israeli plan, so Biden was speaking on behalf of Israel in a way, because he said this whole plan is Israel's plan. He said that this plan has been given to Hamas via Qatar, and we are waiting for Hamas's answer to this three-phase plan. I have not seen this plan. I have not seen the details of this plan, so I don't know that much about it other than what I've just told you guys. But that's where we are with Biden's big announcement and some sort of a ceasefire or peace in Gaza. That's the plan. That was the big announcement from Professor Biden yesterday. And as Biden was wrapping up his press conference, he started to walk off. And a reporter asked Biden about the Trump verdict. And Biden turned around and he gave this really, really weird, some would say demonic kind of smile. I don't know another word to describe the smile that Biden gave as he was walking off into a back room in the White House, asked about the Trump verdict. At first, I thought that was artificial intelligence. I thought that was a bit of AI there, because I said this is not real. That smile is not real. But nope, that's Dark Brandon right there. Man. Anyway, real. It's real. That smile. So that was Biden. His reaction to a reporter asking him about the Trump verdict. By the way, Biden said that people should not question the Trump verdict. He said it's dangerous to question the Trump verdict. The American principle that no one is above the law was reaffirmed, Biden said. Donald Trump was given every opportunity to defend himself. Biden added that Trump was judged by a jury of 12 citizens and can now appeal the conviction like anyone else. No one is above the law. That's what I was saying yesterday. Oh, they love that line. No one is above the law, except my son. Except my son, he's above the law. 10% for the big guy. That's above the law. But no one else is above the law. I wouldn't be surprised if the White House has already contacted big tech and has already put the word out that anyone daring to question the verdict, canceled. I wouldn't be surprised if something like that is going to happen or is not already in the process of happening. So here's a Twitter X post from Alex Soros. Democrats should refer to Trump as a convicted felon at every opportunity. Repetition is the key to a successful message, and we want people to wrestle with the notion of hiring a convicted felon for the most important job in the country. Alex Soros, giving the game away. Convicted felon, convicted felon, convicted felon, convicted felon, convicted felon. That's going to be the next 5 months. That's going to be the next 5 months from the Biden White House, from the Democrats, from the collective West mainstream media. That's it. Convicted felon, convicted felon. That's the plan. So that's the post from Soros Jr., the younger Soros. Let's now talk about France. My God, France. We had a Twitter X post from the Ukraine parliament member, Gocharenko, who said, "My sources informed me that the first group of French instructors is already on the way to Ukraine." The first group of French instructors is already on the way. There are reports saying that next week, with Zelensky by his side, Macron is going to announce that French instructors are indeed going to Ukraine. Officially, that's the difference, officially, not mercenary, not French Foreign Legion that no one wants to talk about, or that are wearing a Ukraine flag patch. This is official. Official French troops on the ground in Ukraine next week. The word is that Macron is going to officially announce this. And there is some talk that Macron is also going to announce some sort of coalition of the willing that will also send instructors to Project Ukraine. That's what the word is. I imagine now that France is officially saying that they're sending instructors to Ukraine, I imagine the Baltic states for sure, maybe Poland. But there you have it. It is looking like it's official. France is the first country to send its troops to Ukraine. And I'm not going to say this is what's going to happen, but it does open up the way for Macron to now send 20,000 troops into Odessa, like he was talking about a couple of months ago. So now Macron can officially escalate and send more and more troops, and more countries can also send their instructors. And you better believe it that when Russia, if and when Russia destroys, annihilates these instructors, which is very likely to happen, Macron and whatever other countries send their instructors to Ukraine, let's just say the Baltic states or Poland, I don't know, they're going to cry and whine to the United States. Maybe they'll go to the UK first, and then the UK will send their instructors into Ukraine, and then they're all collectively going to whine and cry to the United States and beg Biden to please send U.S. soldiers to Ukraine because the Russians, they're slaughtering us. That's a possibility. Because right now, the narrative, the cover is that this is not a NATO operation, this is not sanctioned by NATO, so don't worry. Don't worry, world, about an Article 5 situation or a World War III situation. No need to worry, because France is doing this on their own initiative. Whatever other countries follow France, that's their decision. This is not a NATO thing, but we know that once the body bags start returning to Europe, they're going to want this to be a NATO thing, a U.S. thing mainly. And that is when Biden's going to have to make the decision, and the American people are going to have to make the decision. Do we send our sons and daughters into Ukraine to fight the Russians? How many people had their money on France? Let me know in the comments down below when everyone was guessing. Everyone's trying to guess what was going to be the first country to officially put boots on the ground in Ukraine. I think most of the money was on the Baltic states or Poland. I think that's what everybody had their money on. It was going to be Poland or the Baltic states. The talk was that Poland was going to move into the west of Ukraine and then try to swallow up Lviv. I was thinking along the same lines as well. You know, maybe like a year and a half ago. The big money was on Poland. Then I think it shifted to the Baltic states with Poland. I would have never guessed France. I wasn't thinking Macron in France, but you know, there you have it. Interesting. Very interesting. Macron doing whatever he needs to do to protect the globalist world order, to protect globalism, right? Macron, always a good globalist foot soldier, a good globalist puppet, Macron. Or maybe he's doing this out of love. Maybe that Zelensky number 5. Maybe that Zelensky number 5 is driving Macron into war with Russia. Wars have been fought over love. Many, many times, wars have been fought over love. So Marine Le Pen, she said that France should not go to war with Russia. Le Pen said that Macron wants France to go to war with Russia. She said that Macron's views led her to conclude that he wants France to dive headfirst into war with Russia. She said that she opposes this, extremely firmly opposes Macron's positions, which could create an absolutely staggering danger for France. Yeah? This could be very, very dangerous for France. Extremely dangerous. But there you have it. Stoltenberg, speaking on behalf of the United Kingdom, I never knew that Stoltenberg was a UK citizen or a UK top official, but there you have it. Should we call him King of UK Stoltenberg? I don't know, but speaking on behalf of the UK, he said that the UK has never limited Kiev's use of long-range missiles. Our allies have for many years, or since this war started back in 2022, accepted that their weapons are used also for strikes against legitimate targets inside Russia. For instance, the UK has provided Storm Shadow cruise missiles for a long time without any restrictions. Stoltenberg, speaking on behalf of the UK, saying that Storm Shadow missiles have been given to Ukraine for a long time so that those Storm Shadow missiles could strike Russian territory. He's not wrong, because Storm Shadow missiles, from the moment they were given to Ukraine, they were used to hit Crimea. I believe they've been used to hit Belgorod. I'm not 100% on that, but definitely to hit Crimea and to hit the Kerch Bridge. But I just find it funny that Stoltenberg is speaking on behalf of the UK. Interesting. The long-range missiles hitting Russian territory. Oh boy. So what else? What else? Medvedev. He's sending out his warnings, saying that all of this could lead to a nuclear miscalculation. Let's see what Medvedev said on a Telegram post. He stressed that Russia considers all long-range systems used by NATO to be directly controlled by NATO personnel. This is not some kind of military assistance. This is taking part in a war against us. Medvedev said NATO wants Western involvement in the conflict to be seen as the independent initiative of certain countries, hoping to avoid the need to invoke the collective defense clause. That's what I just said about troops. Medvedev is saying the same thing about the long-range missiles. This is not Article 5 NATO. This is just NATO countries on their own deciding to provide the targeting and the satellite and the surveillance and the personnel to hit Russian territory. Medvedev said that this is nonsense. Eventually, this is going to lead to an Article 5, or this could possibly lead to an Article 5 scenario. Medvedev said that, well, he dismissed this narrative as a dangerous and harmful delusion. According to him, actions such as sending troops to Ukraine or guiding long-range weapons are a serious escalation of the conflict. While the US-led military bloc wants to believe that Russia would never use tactical nuclear weapons against Ukraine or NATO, life could be much worse than their frivolous reasoning allows, Medvedev warned. Yeah. What if they target again? What if they target again one of Russia's nuclear deterrence radars? Then what? What does Russia do? And what if they do significantly more damage on this deterrence, on this radar deterrence system, the strategic deterrence radar system? What if they really do a lot of damage to it? Then what? What is Russia to take from that? Maybe Russia's going to believe that the collective West is looking to engage in a nuclear first strike against Russia by taking out their deterrence umbrella. It's a possibility. What if F-16s are used to launch missiles that could have a nuclear warhead? What does Russia do? All kinds of things can go wrong here. So that's Medvedev's warning. Let's go to Orban, who is also giving warnings, very scary warnings from Orban. Because Orban, he sits in on the meetings. He gets to listen to what the NATO leaders are saying. He gets to listen to what the EU leaders are saying. And Orban's conclusion is that NATO is moving closer to war with Russia. It is absurd that instead of protecting us, NATO is dragging us into a world war. It's like a firefighter going to put out a fire with a flamethrower, Orban said, stressing that members of the military bloc are inching closer to full-blown war all the time. He cited discussion, preparation, and destruction as three key stages preceding such a conflict, saying that members of the bloc are now completing the discussion and are at the preparation stage. They are at the preparation stage. So they've moved from discussion, and now they're at preparation, and the next stage is destruction, war. So that's NATO. That's the collective West preparing for conflict with Russia, step by step. From helmets, Germany, once upon a time saying we're just going to give them 5,000 helmets, that's it. To javelins and Leopards and Abrams and Storm Shadows, Scalps, ATACMS, permission to now hit Russian territory, but the Biden White House, they said in a statement yesterday that ATACMS cannot be used by the Ukraine military to hit Russian territory. Ukraine can use other weapons in the Kharkov region, but not yet ATACMS. But you know they're going to eventually get to ATACMS, to the permission to use ATACMS to hit Russian territory. But Stoltenberg is saying that Storm Shadow missiles can absolutely be used to hit Russian territory. Now you have Macron sending instructors, officially sending instructors to Ukraine. Is this the preparation phase? Are we at the beginning of the preparation phase, according to Orban? Putin has given warnings. Medvedev, he's giving his warnings. let's see. China is saying that they're gonna stand with Russia. Chinese military is with Russia, and they are working together to defend justice in the world. This was stated by the official representative of the Chinese Ministry of Defense. The Chinese armed forces are ready to work with the Russian army to fully implement the important consensus reached by the leaders of the two countries. PLA soldiers are willing to defend international justice and impartially, together with their Russian counterparts, and make every effort to safeguard international and regional security. Very, very scary World War vibes going on. Very scary. Oh boy. So yesterday, Russia launched a big missile and drone strike across Ukraine. I believe the number was 57 missiles and 47 drones, or 47 missiles and 57 drones. Not quite sure, but something like that. And where were these missiles and drones targeting? What were the targets across Ukraine, including West Ukraine, including the EU gas storage facility of Stryyi? I've talked about this in videos in the past. The Russian missiles and drones targeted this EU gas storage facilities, but mainly the big targets were energy infrastructure, thermal power plants, according to DTEK, which is the Ukraine energy company, Ukraine's largest private energy company, said that 2 of its thermal power plants were targeted in a Russian attack on June 1st, resulting in serious damage to the equipment. That's what I was saying. That is what I was saying. I had a hunch that one of the first things Russia can do, all of this escalation, was to go after the energy infrastructure, which is right on the brink of complete collapse. That is the first thing that Russia can hit at right away, to maybe send a strong enough message to Macron, to Stoltenberg, to Biden that don't push us any further. Otherwise, it's going to be lights out for all of Ukraine. They can also hit the bridges. That's another thing that Russia can do. What Russia is looking to do right now at this stage is to try and keep this escalation confined to Ukraine, to keep their warnings to not escalate confined to Ukraine, so that we can avoid a global escalation, so that Russia can avoid hitting collective West targets which are not located in Ukraine. You guys understand what I mean? I've been saying this over the past couple of weeks. I think that's going to be the Russian deterrence plan for now. And they're going to see if the collective West gets the message. They're not going to get the message. But who knows? Maybe if the lights are completely turned off in Ukraine, maybe that's going to be enough. There's not much that collective West officials can do in Ukraine if there's no power. I don't know. Anyway, that was a big strike yesterday throughout all of Ukraine, hitting the power plants. And let's see. Do we have any more news before we get to some clown worlds? The new defense minister, speaking in Kazakhstan, Belousov, he said that Ukraine has lost in the month of May 35,000 soldiers, just in May. You see, that's the real problem for Ukraine. It's not the weapons. The weapons are a problem, the artillery, The missiles, okay, it's going to need weapons for the collective West, the targeting, surveillance, satellite, all of these things. Yes, that's a problem, but the real big issue now for Ukraine is attrition. Let me read you what BITCHUTE said, speaking in Kazakhstan, because here you have another high-level Russian official saying what the Russian strategy is and has been. Speaking at the defense ministers' meeting of the Collective Security Treaty Organization, the CSTO, in Kazakhstan, BITCHUTE stated that the Russian military continues to systematically reduce the combat potential of the armed forces of Ukraine. That is a direct quote from BITCHUTE. It's very interesting that the collective West media never talks about this. They never talk about the real Russian strategy in this conflict. They know what it is because Russia says what it is. I mean, this is what BITCHUTE said is not anything new. Our goal is to wipe out the Ukraine military. It's been said many times. But the collective West officials and the media, they never say this. They always make it seem like it's all about a Russian advance, Russia capturing territory, and Russia capturing Kharkiv, or Russia capturing this area, that area. I wonder if they understand that if they started to openly talk about the fact that Ukraine's military is being demolished, that this would freak out the citizens of the collective West, because they would understand that sooner or later our elected our elected leaders, they're going to want us to send our military into Ukraine, and the media and the leaders in the collective West, they don't want to freak out their citizens just yet. They want to slow walk them, like what Macron is doing, slow walk them to the reality that their soldiers are going to be sent to Ukraine. Instructors. We're just going to send instructors. So that was BITCHUTE. Should we do a clown world? Before we get to the clown world, let's do a pre-clown world. Zelensky was giving an interview to The Guardian, an hour-long interview. And Zelensky said any agreement with Russia would be a trap. A trap. And this interview is about the Switzerland Peace Summit, okay? So keep that in mind. So Zelensky says to The Guardian that any agreement with Russia would be a trap. During the hour-long interview, which the British newspaper summarized on Friday, Zelensky reiterated his position to signing any treaty with Moscow, stating that Putin could not be believed to stick to it. Any pause in hostilities would be used by Russia to strengthen its muscles on the battlefield, he predicted. Putin is not crazy. Yes, you understand. He is dangerous. And it's much more scary, he said, in a mix of English and Ukrainian, according to an excerpt from the interview released by the news outlet. Putin is not crazy, yes? You understand, Guardian. He's dangerous. And it's much more scary. So he's talking about the peace summit. This is a summit that supposedly is going to take place in Switzerland in order to get to peace in Ukraine. But at the same time, Zelensky is saying that no agreement can be signed with Russia because it would be a trap. It'd be trap. You know trap, Guardian. Big trap that would trap us, clamp down on us, trap us. It'd be trap. Big bear trap. What kind of peace summit is this? I mean, this is just such nonsense, man. It's just so ridiculous. It's laughable, man. So answer me this, Zelensky. How is this Swiss peace summit going to get to a peace if you can't sign that peace with Russia? Who are you going to sign that peace with? The United States? With who? With Switzerland? Who exactly are you going to sign that peace with? I know. Yolanda Navalny. Juan Guaido. Maybe Juan Guaido. Maybe Guaido, Navalny, Yolanda Navalny, and Svetlana Tikhanovskaya. Maybe they can all show up to Switzerland, and you could sign a peace with them. Why not? This really is a theater production. It's fiction. It's fiction. What was I reading yesterday that a country in the Baltics, I think I want to say Lithuania, but anyway, one of the three Baltic states said that that Ukraine can use their weapons against Belarus now as well. Could use collective West weapons to hit at Belarus. And all these countries, they are just asking for trouble, man. But there are adults on the other side in Russia, in China, and they are working together. There's no doubt about it. And they're going to try to confine this escalation to Ukraine. That's what they're going to try to do. They're going to try to send every message to the collective West within the battlefield in Ukraine. Stop or else. That's what I think is going to happen. And I hope, but I feel they'll be successful. But we'll see. We're entering some very dangerous territory, man. Very, very dangerous. Oh boy, should we do the clown world now, or was Zelensky the clown? That was a clown world right there. That was a clown world. Maybe we should nominate Switzerland for the award, Clown of the Year award for hosting this peace summit. Destroying the belief that you're a neutral country. Now no one believes that Switzerland is neutral, like no one. If there were some countries that may have held on to this belief that Switzerland is neutral, nope. Not only are you not neutral, but you host ridiculous, dumb summits at the behest of the United States, because that's what's putting you up to this, Switzerland. All right, let's do a clown world, and we can wrap this video up. A very relaxed video on this Saturday at one of my favorite spots, the Olympic Stadium. Just chilling out here, doing some tourist watching. It's always fun to watch the tourists take their pictures. The most popular pictures are always like in front of the stadium, and they're running, or they're pretending to hold a medal or something like that. That's the most popular picture. Oh man! So Hillary Clinton, in our clown world, she posted on her Instagram a mug that she's selling, merch connected to the Trump verdict. And the mug says, "Turns out she was right about everything." That is the mug that Hillary is selling. She's celebrating the Trump verdict, celebrating the destruction of the United States legal system. Why not? Why not celebrate that if you're Hillary Clinton? And this mug is an image. You can see the image of Hillary Clinton without any eyes or any nose or anything, and looks like she's sipping coffee or tea. At first I thought it's Hillary wearing a mask, but no, she's sipping tea or coffee in this mug. What's this Instagram post say? "We recently had some merch made based on a phrase I hear a lot. The design happened to be finalized today. With your purchase, you'll support Onward Together groups defending democracy and get a pretty great mug to sip tea from. Link to purchase in my profile." Right. She was right about everything, huh? Really? Really, Hillary? Were you right about Benghazi and Libya? Were you right about that? Hillary, were you right about Russiagate? 51 former Intel officials talking about Hunter's laptop possibly being Russian disinfo. And your server in your basement, were you right about that, Hillary? You're right about everything, Hillary. Yeah, that's right. Oh, boy. Anyway. They're laughing now. They're celebrating now, but something tells me that in 6 months' time, their laughter is going to turn into tears. Tears because Trump might be in the White House again, or maybe it's going to be tears because Project Ukraine has collapsed. I don't know, maybe both. Anyway, that's the video, everybody. TheDuran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, ODYSEE, BitChute, Telegram, Rockfin, and Twitter X. And go to the Duran shop. Pick up some merch. 15% off. Use the code GetReady15. Take care.